make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination.
Hey everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and surprise, I have an extra video for you guys this week. I got my paper pumpkin and I really wanted to share it with you guys. This one I think is going to be a really fun kit. I've seen the contents of it. I kind of sneaked a peek online when people started to get their kits, and I'm really excited about it. I was excited to see the product actually in person because sometimes something can look one way, you know, on a photo or in a video, and then you get it and maybe you don't like it or you like it more. So I was excited to see all of this in person, and I'm very excited for this because I don't know about you guys, but sequins is all the rage right now, and I have totally got sucked in to the sequence trend, and I've been collecting them and using them on projects, and so I thought this was a great mix of sequins and confetti, and I just thought it would be really fun to play with this. And I love the colors. They're very like summery, and there's some of that gold, so I loved that. And then I also really love this washi tape. I'm starting to get into thinner washi tape. Like, I wish this was half the size it was, but it's really pretty. It has some gold in it, and then that peekaboo peach color, which is really pretty. I'm excited that you get 2 Stampin' spots this month. You get the mint macaroon, and then you get tip tap taupe. Tip tap taupe is a color I don't have in the Stampin' spots, so I'm excited about that. The stamp set I could do without. You know, I'm gonna use it and see what I can do with it, but it's definitely not my favorite. Then these are little envelopes. That's what they're meant to be used for, is like little envelopes, but you could use these as treat bags as well, so I'm gonna see about that. There's these right here are meant to be a banner, and I'm gonna see what I can do with this. I'm not making the banner, but I'm gonna see what I can still do with that. And then there is this, which I think I'm just gonna use as a card base, and it's that tip tap taupe. And then there's some gold lettering, which I think I will use in Project Life. And then there's some punch outs. So this is the project. So every month, if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it's this awesome little box that comes in the mail, and you get it and you open it up, and it's a big surprise of what project is in there, and then it's a little craft project. It's $20 a month, and that includes shipping. Every month you get at least one of the Stampin' spots. This month we got 2, and then you always get a stamp set to do your project. And then you have instructions. So it shows you what to do, and then you put together the project. I have an exclusive Facebook page for all of my Paper Pumpkin members. So when you join Paper Pumpkin with me, you get to be a part of that exclusive Facebook group, and I share a ton of different ways to use your kit if you don't like the project that it comes, you know, what comes with it. So say you don't like this little banner idea or this little card idea, there's tons of other things we can do with this kit. I share those ideas for you guys, so it's all in one place, one stop. You just go, you check it out, you make something different. So I'm going to clear my space off. I'm going to make a few things. I'm going to come back and I'm going to share with you guys. If you're interested in joining my Paper Pumpkin, you can go to my coordinating blog post where you will see pictures of my final project that I make, and you can join there, or in the YouTube description down below it'll say join my Paper Pumpkin here, and you can click on that and join. So I'll be back and I'll share with you what I've come up with for this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. Okay guys, I'm back and I am ready to make a card for you guys. I am completely like changing everything in the kit to make this card. And then I also pulled out my February Paper Pumpkin kit just so I could, or the stamp set, so I could use the stamp set, because I really, you guys, I just don't like the stamp set that came. And that's okay. Every single month you get a stamp set, so it's totally okay if one month you don't like it. This is the first time in a year I haven't really liked the stamp set. So I pulled out February, and I thought that this would be really pretty. So let me tell you guys what I've done. The first thing I did is I took the bag and I cut it down. So this is really thin, like paper, and it's in the mint macaroon color. So what I did is I knew I wanted this to be my card base. So a card base is 5.5 by 4.25. So what I did is I took the entire bag. I'm gonna try to explain this the best that I can. It took me a couple tries. I definitely wasted a couple bags trying to figure out how exactly to do this, because this part of it's a bag, so it's all connected. So I wanted to trim it down so that I could have the front and the back as a card base. So what I did is I knew that I wanted it to be 5.5 by 4.25. This way. So this would be 5.5. So I went ahead and I just trimmed off the bottom, just a thin piece off the bottom, just to get that opened up. Then I flipped this on my trimmer. And then what I did is I then could trim this to 5.5, just like this. So this part was easy. There was a lot of extra. So then here what I did is I didn't want to just cut 4.25 because it would still leave this edge right here sealed. So I went over and I did 4.5, and then we cut that and open that piece up. Then you flip it, and then you can cut at 4.25, and you're gonna get your piece. So now the back piece is gonna have that seam, but that's okay. We're not gonna use that piece for the front of the card. You know, it's not gonna be seen. And then this piece is gonna be your base, okay? So then same thing for this. I wanted this to be a layer of 4 by 5.25. So I just trimmed the same amount off each side so that these notches wouldn't be there, okay, so that I could use it, okay? So then the next thing I did was I took this piece right here and I took my butterfly framelets right here, and I took this butterfly and I made 2 butterflies right in the middle. I think I put this one over too much, but that's okay. I should have maybe angled it a little bit more. I tried to do it right in the middle. So we're gonna make a shaker card because I just feel like you can't have all this sequence and not make a shaker card. So I have this piece, then we have our base, and then I have a piece of acetate, and then what I've done is I've prepped my foam tape. I just am using this foam tape, and I'm doing what Christina Warner suggested to do in her last shaker card, where you fold it over. So you just take this, you fold it over, and then you cut it in half. And then I'm also going to be doing another tip that she shares. So let's go ahead and get started on making this shaker card. The first thing we want to do is grab some glue and put our acetate down. So let's add our foam next. So the next tip that Christina gave this last week was to take off the front and the back, the piece that protects that, so that it can move around easier. So then what you're going to do is just go all the way around here. Now this is a butterfly, so it's not as you know, straight, maybe like as a circle, or if you're doing like a square shaker card, but it honestly does not have to be perfect, you guys. You're just... Okay guys, so you can see I just have this shaker part. I just fast forwarded through all that, putting the foam down. I cannot put foam down pretty. You guys, I don't know how other people who do shaker cards do it, but I cannot do it pretty. It's a mess every time I do it. That's okay, nobody's gonna see back there. So now I'm gonna, again, take my little powder tool, and then I'm gonna put it in here now just all around the edges. That's going to help the sequence to move around. So now it's relatively easy from here. We're just going to add some of these great sequins all in here. And I always feel like you want to put a little bit more than you think, especially because there's a gap in between these butterflies. So I want to make sure that enough are in each section. So now the way that I do this, you guys, is I add another little piece of backing. So I just take a little bit of that paper that had the seam, the very back piece, and I'm just gonna do enough to cover this. It's not even gonna cover it all the way. So you're gonna see that there is still a little bit of a gap. This is just so that I can flip everything over and center it onto my other piece, and it will look nice because I cannot center it backwards. So then we'll just add a little bit of adhesive to here. Then I kind of get all my sequins, I try to get it all kind of in the middle there. And then our gray piece, our blue piece is right here. So I'm gonna lay this down. And then I'm gonna flip this over. And some of the sequins are gonna fall out. All of them won't fall out. It's totally fine. This is just the way I do it to make it easy on myself. And then the piece that we used was blue, so it's the same color as the background. So then you can see the shakers all in those butterflies. So now we're gonna take our white card base, which I've just used thick Whisper white cardstock, and I'm gonna go ahead and score that so we can fold it over just like that. Now to put a sentiment on here, what I'm gonna do is I have a whatever will fit on there, and then we can take our sentiment. Let's do Hello Sunshine because I love it with those butterflies. And so here's hello, and then here is sunshine. And I think I cut that apart because I think I stacked it at some point. So I'm just going to stick it together and then grab a block. And then we'll use a Stays On. We'll use a black. And that is what I have handy. And I'll clean that off right away since it stays on. But then what we'll do is we'll just do a little flag. We'll snip it. So snip it there in the middle. And then just use your scissors and come down from each corner. Clean that up. And then we will use our snail adhesive again, since so much of this is already popped up. And then I'm gonna layer it over the tip tap taupe and over the white, kind of an even amount. So it's right down here and it says Hello Sunshine. And then you have a cute shaker card. So this kit, if you get the Paper Pumpkin kit this month, it's a great kit to try shaker cards because you get so much sequence and they're beautiful. So I still have a ton left over, and I've done 2 cards. I did one without a sentiment, and then I did this one with the sentiment. So I'd love to know which you guys like better. Do you like the one without the sentiment or with the sentiment? And then you could always, if you do without, you can put something in the inside of the card. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing my Paper Pumpkin this month. I loved this kit, even though I didn't love the stamp set, and I loved that we got 2 spots this month, 2 Stampin' spots. So I would love for you to join with me. Make sure you email me if you join my Paper Pumpkin. Make sure you send me an email and let me know you joined, because I don't get an email letting me know when new people join. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow with a Project Life video for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today and sticking with me to the very end of my video. I have 2 other videos here for you, and they are both Paper Pumpkin related. I have the May Paper Pumpkin video, which was happy birthday cards, and then the April Paper Pumpkin video I did for you guys. I used the extra stamp set that came in that kit that month. So I hope you will check both of those out, and I hope that you will come back and hang out with me tomorrow. I will be talking about Project Life. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.